One of my favorite songs to play when I'm with other guitar players and we're playing acoustics or whatever is to jam Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. And what I want to do is I want to show you how the beginning of this goes. It's really fun, and it's something that's very, very recognizable to other musicians. And so basically what we're going to do is we're just going to break down briefly how the beginning goes. And again, there's so many different ways of approaching the picking part for the beginning of Wish You Were Here. And I just want to show you some of these main parts. Now, what I'm doing in this video is I'm simplifying the strum, so the strum is always this, ba-bum-bum. So if you watch, if I go, it follows whatever lick I play with ba-bum-bum, okay? So what I'm doing here is I'm making a G chord. I'm using the 4-finger G, and I'm going to play 3rd fret of the 6th string, and then I'm going to play a hammer-on from 0 to 2, on the 5th string, and then I'm going to play 0, 2 on the 4th string. So I have... Then I'm going to strum just these bottom 4 strings with that strum. Okay, and then my lick afterwards is... which is 2 on the 4th string, 0 on the 3rd string, back to 2 on the 4th string, and then 0 on the 4th string. So I have... and then all I'm going to do is once that string's open, I'm going to make my way back to the G chord and do that same strum like that. So it sounds like this. Then I go back and forth. Then the last time, same thing here, but then it goes to, which is 2, 0, 2, 0 on the 4th and 5th strings. Then I go back to that chord I just played, that 4-string chord. Now if I hit the 5th string in it, it's okay too. If I go and hit that 5th string or skip it, either way it will sound just fine. And then we do that. Sorry. And then, again, then we end with, which is 0, 2, 0. I'm doing the hammer-on from 0 to 2. And then I go to the 3, and then I strum the G chord. So let me play the whole thing nice and slow for you. Again, I don't want to spend too much time on this because we want to get to the solo, but I do want you to have an idea of how this goes. And then... you'll notice I'm starting with an upstroke when I strum. And then here's the new one. Then I do this. Back here. And then end with... okay? Now, if you look up other people playing this, and I've played it a million different ways, sometimes what I like to do with the strum is I'll alternate the strum doing these two strums. And so what you'll notice is the first time I strum it, it's one long, two short. Bum, ba, bum. And the second one is ba, bum, bum. So it's two short, one long. And then this. So oftentimes when I teach this, I just want to make it easy for you, what I just showed you, but sometimes I like to play it like this. Sorry. Long, then short. Long, ba-dum, short. So please be aware that there's lots of different ways that you can strum this. What I would suggest for you is to go back and listen to the song and think to yourself, oh yeah, I hear him strumming the long one than the short one. Or, boy, it just makes more sense for me just to strum them all this way, the short one, or whatever it is that works for you. Hey, I'd like to give you my book, Unlocking the Fretboard Connection, for free. You can download it at guitarzoom.com/freebook or check out the link in the description. And again, guilt-free, right? The most important thing here is that you're learning how to play this song and having some fun with it. You're not, David Gilmour, and neither am I, right? And even David Gilmour probably does it his own way here and there. And so, again, I'm not asking you to not play things note for note. I'm just asking you to always put fun and encouragement and confidence first, and then go through all the other parts. Because if you just make everything into an insurmountable battle, you wind up not enjoying yourself, and then you wind up not wanting to practice and all that sort of thing. Most important thing isn't, for me, whether or not you're doing it verbatim the way it was on a recording. The most important thing is that you're having fun playing the song, okay? So now let's take a look at this solo a little bit. It starts off with this thing. And what's happening there is I'm sliding with my middle finger from 2 to 4 on the 3rd string. Okay? And then I'm going to my first finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret there, on that note D right there. Then I'm going to do a little round robin here. I'm going to go, which is my 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the 2nd string, head up to the 3rd string with my middle finger on the 4th fret, then over to the 2nd string, 3rd fret right there. So if I put those two together, I get... So again, remember, just take it step by step. If you need to pause this and just work on that, just do that. That's fine. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do this. We're going to do a pull-off from 4 to 2 to 0. So I'm doing a pull-off from 4 to 2 and then a pull-off from 2 to 0. Only I'm holding these other strings so they don't make noise. So as I do that, this hand's kind of deadening the 2 strings down here I don't want. And then this one's deadening the ones up here I don't want to ring out. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to the 4th string and just pluck it open. Now you'll also notice that when I pluck that 4th fret, or excuse me, that 4th string 0, I'm also killing the 3rd string, otherwise they'd both ring out. And I'd get that. So I want, so you'll notice I'm just coming back and touching that string when I'm done. So all you hear is that 4th string. So if I put those together, I get... Then I'm going to do a little slide from 1 to 2 on the 5th string. I don't want to really hear the 1, I just want the slide up to the 2. And then 4th string open twice. That's the first phrase of this solo. So let me play the whole thing together so you can hear it and then you can practice it. You can stop this and work on it. Here it comes. Okay, now we're going to go into a series of double stops. This is the next part. We're going to go... And this is going to require just a little bit of hybrid picking, which is picking with my pick and picking with my middle finger at the same time. I'm going to do it that way, and then I'm going to show you how you can do it another way if you'd rather, okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play these 2 3s on the 1st and 2nd strings, and I'm going to play them and slide up to the 5th fret. Then I'm going to play those and slide back to the 3rd fret. So you want that kind of slidey sound. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the 2nd and 3rd strings, only this time I'm going to make a D-style shape. So I'm using the 3rd fret of the 2nd string with my 3rd finger here, and the 2nd fret of the 3rd string with my 1st finger. So it's just the top of a D chord there. And I'm going to slide up 2 frets to the 5th and 4th strings, and then I'm going to slide back. So I get... Now again, if you'd rather use some different fingers or something, feel free. Now when I get there, I'm going to pluck the 3rd string open. So I leave this one here because I'm going to come back. But I hear that, at least when I hear it, I hear him playing an extra note there. So we have... Then we're going to do this again. that same thing again. So watch now. Okay, so full speed it sounds like this. Now when I get there, I'm going to pluck that third string open again, and then I'm going to pluck both the strings open. So let me tag that at the end so you can hear it. Here's the whole thing here. Go back. See how it comes in quick? So I have. Okay. Now sometimes when I play that, I'll do it as a pull-off like that. So instead of plucking the string, I'll actually just flick that finger off. And then I'll pluck those two. So that's another option that you've got of being able to play this. Here it comes. And the reason I'm doing that pull-off is because it happens so quickly after that lick that it might be easier just to do the pull-off than pick it, but that's entirely up to you. Okay? That one I do pick because there's a lot of time in between. Here we go. So whichever one you like better. Now, if you'd rather pick this whole thing, there's nothing wrong with that either. Okay? It's a little bit more aggressive, but that doesn't mean that that's bad. All depends on how you're picking it, right? So if you'd rather do that, that's okay. If you'd rather pick them. Okay, now we get to the end, we're going to go, so we're starting off kind of like the beginning. Okay, so right there I've got this slide up, then I'm playing 3, 4, then I'm heading over that 5. Now here, I've got to do this little kind of pre-bend. So I'm bending it up, and then I'm going to pick it and bring it down. Then I'm going to play 4, 3 again. So look at this. Then I'm going to head over here to the 2. Okay, so I have. Here's my favorite part. Here's this. I love that lick. So there I'm just doing a little bit of a bend on the 4, and then 3, 5, and then I'm gonna do that little bend again, then back to that 2. So I have, okay, so let me play that whole little phrase for you. Pre-bend, then bend. Okay, now I'm going to go back and do that same lick again. That same thing. But this time it goes. So we stay on that 5 and bend it up, and then play the 5 again. And then we head down to that 2. So it's kind of easy to get those two confused. I always think of it as the first one's that pre-bend quick lick, and the second one's the long 5 bend. So if you think about it, I'm going to put those two together now. Here comes my pre-bend quick lick, and then this cool little blues thing. Now I got to go back and do this again, but here's the long bend. And then we end with, which is a 4 bend. Whether you bend it towards the 4 or towards the ceiling is entirely up to you. And that's the solo. So there's a lot of little parts to it. And again, it starts with you knowing the song in your head, which I'm sure you've heard the song before, right? But the goal is to listen to it enough to where, I had a guitar teacher that once said to me, You can play the solos if you can sing them in your head. And that doesn't mean sing them out, with pitch. It means, can you hear it in your head? Because like that bum, ba-da, bum, bum, you want to be able to kind of hear that in your head to be able to make a visual picture on your guitar of what you're actually going to be playing. So when we get to, I got to be able to see that in my head because it's a lot of repetition. You're playing these same notes, 2, 4, 3, 5, over and over and over through this entire solo. So you got to try and make sense of, like the first one. Let's see. That one stops here and then goes around robin. Now we get into those double stops. Okay, now I get into the pre-bend one first. Here it is. Blues bend. Now I go back for the long one. And end it. So again, when I'm saying, quick lick or pre-bend, that's what I'm thinking in my head. It might not make perfect sense out here in the real world, but that's what I'm thinking. Then the second one's the long 5, which again, is it really that long? No, but that's the way I'm thinking of it in my head, which makes it easier for me to remember which one goes where. So I make little, shortcuts in my brain of what I'm going to be doing. And all the while, I can hear the song playing in my mind because I've listened to this song. I've listened to this solo so many times without trying to play along, just listening to it, just absorbing the song. It's really important to be able to do that. Thank you for watching this video. If you're enjoying this video and you'd like to support the channel so we can continue to bring you more free content, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications and let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, if you'd like more in-depth training and courses, go to guitarzoom.com and get started for free today.